When I was younger, I used to always try and fit in. I went along with clothing trends, hair trends, and other things that were popular amongst young people. To be a part of something and to not be different. When you're young, you're worried about what other people think of you or to be seen by others as weird. Once you get older, you still kind of have this sense of fitting in. You want to do good and be seen as normal. When you're thinking like this, it's actually killing the power inside of you and making you unhappy. You're stuck in the middle and you will not get noticed. When I started being more rebellious, it drastically improved my life. Today I want to talk about why you should become a rebel. So we'll focus on the good things of rebellion. What is a rebel? A rebel is a person who rises in opposition against an established government or leader. They tend to be different and not follow the crowd. People usually have negative thoughts when it comes to being rebellious. They judge them because they do things differently and people don't like that. Rebels don't care and think for themselves. I think it's important for young people to reach that rebel inside of them. We're giving into conformity and barely think for ourselves anymore these days. In the 1950s, after World War II, youngsters started going their own way for the first time. With rock and roll that was introduced and Elvis Presley, who danced like a rebel, teens were going against conformity. Now, in the 1970s, these youngsters were called punks. They transformed and they also started doing their own thing and thinking for themselves. These youth cultures were authentic and against acting like sheep. In modern society, many young people are scared to be different or are scared to think different. Especially with social media. When you start acting like a rebel, so thinking for yourself, doing what's best for you and not caring, you will finally become happy in life. Gino wrote a book on rebellion and how it's good for your personal development. She wrote that every rebel, even though each of them are unique, have 5 strengths. The first one of these strengths is being curious. When you're a kid, you're always super curious. You want to know and see everything of the world. When you get older, this curiosity fades away. You start falling into bad habits and don't try to look further than that. It's comfortable to do things you're familiar with. Rebels are always curious. They have the mind of a child when it comes to curiosity, and that's a good thing. They keep expanding their comfort zone and keep improving by trying new things. They know that this will benefit them in the long run. Even if things go wrong, they learn from them. They also keep asking themselves questions why things are the way they are. Today, many people quickly go to the internet to answer their questions, but try to change this. Start thinking with your mind first before you easily seek the answers or listen to other people's opinion. The second characteristic is novelty. This also has a bit to do with curiosity. Rebels seek new things. It's normal for us to stay in familiar habits because, again, it's comfortable. A key characteristic is being new and different. Try new things and go against things that seem familiar and safe, because this will help you grow and be more rebellious. The third characteristic is perspective. It's easy to have a one-sided perspective, and when many people agree with that perspective, we stop thinking critically about things. Rebels see things objectively from multiple perspectives to trigger their brains and learn what is best for them and what is most logical. They are open to different views and don't get emotional when they don't agree on things. Critical thinking is active thinking. Many people are on autopilot and agree with many things they see on the internet because it's what the crowd does. Now, the fourth key characteristic is authenticity. Rebels are authentic because they think for themselves and do things that others don't. They are not scared of what others think and don't care about conforming just to please others. They know that if people think they're weird or different, it doesn't affect them in any way. They think honesty is better than lying for people's satisfaction. And then the last key characteristic of a rebel that Gino talked about is diversity. Rebels like to go against absurd traditions and expectations. Rebels do the right thing, the thing that everyone is thinking but too afraid to act upon. They see the big picture and do what's right for their future selves and environment. This makes big impact. Then I also have some essential things for being a healthy rebel. Controlling emotions is one of them. Rebels act out of rational decisions and not out of emotion. They are mindful and know that their emotions don't define them. They accept their emotions but don't act with them. To make people understand and respect you, you have to control your emotions and think logically. People who can't control their emotions and act on them are mentally weak. To improve this, you need to acknowledge your emotions, accept them, and see them as they are. Emotions, they do not define you. Another thing I think rebels do is seeing their own health as a priority. That is mental, physical, emotional, social health. They're a bit selfish about their health, but they should be a bit selfish, because otherwise they would conform and keep listening to other people's opinions, even if they think they're wrong. For example, when there's a party and you know you can't go because you have to work early tomorrow and then go to the gym, don't give in to others when they say, "Oh, come on, man, it would be so fun if you could stay." To them, it might be fun, but you know you have to work tomorrow and go to the gym. Or to stay in a relationship because you're too afraid to hurt the other person's feelings. Think of your own health first. And usually this is also the right thing for other people. Even though this might feel bad at the time, eventually you realize that it is the right decision long term. Don't give up your health for other people's pleasures, because it's not worth it. Many characteristics of rebellion are like leader characteristics. Leaders think for themselves and do what's best for them and their environment long term. When you start realizing these characteristics, you'll be an authentic person that improves their life drastically. And most importantly, you'll finally become happy and fulfilled. Now become a rebel.